My garden is everything to me. It's my lifeblood, and in many ways, I think I need this garden more than this garden needs me. There's nothing in my mind more resplendent than the lush cornucopia of vines and leaves, flowers and herbs that grow inside my little nursery. It's an Eden of my very own. Even in my younger days, I had a penchant for things that are green, things that twist and turn, gnarl and grow. Sometimes, I even wonder whether I prefer the company of plants to people. There's something magical about planting seeds in the dirt and watching them grow up into a beautiful orchard teeming with life. It is truly a miracle of nature. Of course, I'm not as sprightly as I used to be, although I'm sad to say it. My knees are so creaky and frail that I just can't take care of everything by myself like I used to. The neighbor boy, Tommy, helped me out this year, and what a help he was. "Tommy," I'd say to him, "bring me that mulch from over there." And right as rain, he'd roll a wheelbarrow twice his size back and forth all day long like it was nothing at all. Or take, for example, the apples on the orchard trees. Everybody knows the reddest, juiciest apples grow all the way at the top. I could never reach them by myself, but that little rascal would climb straight up like a little monkey and toss them down to me. I'm not one to take kindly to strangers walking around my garden, but even I will admit that little Tommy was a big help for this year's harvest. With so many plants, it's practically a full-time job tending to them all. Plants of every kind grow in my garden, you see. There are impeccable irises, blue as the night is dark. Their petals flicker back and forth in the breeze like a school of fish. And how could I not mention my precious poppies, so red and aromatic? Just one breath of their sweet fragrance can melt even the worst troubles away. Don't forget about the heavenly hyacinths either, so gentle and delicate. Each one of their buds dazzling in its own way. No two are ever the same. If you ever feel lost, do not be afraid. My sanguine flowers will light the way. They are the knights of my kingdom, towering over this garden with their yellow manes. And of course, I have other kinds of plants besides just flowers. I grow butternut squash and spaghetti squash and corn and watermelon so sweet you'd swear it was candy. Not a farmer within 100 miles of this place could tell me with a straight face that their honeydew compares to mine. Most vegetables are bland and tasteless, but not in my garden. No, every single one is an explosion of flavor that will melt in your mouth. I promise, you have not really tasted vegetables until you've tasted some of mine. Best of all, though, are my prize-winning pumpkins. My pumpkins took home the blue ribbon at the county fair 10 years in a row, and I'll be damned if I don't make it 11. Every year I bake the judges some of my homemade pumpkin pie using nothing but natural ingredients, all straight from my garden. It's to die for. "Why, Flora," the judges say, "this is the best pumpkin pie I've ever tasted. What is your secret? I simply must know." The secret to growing good pumpkins, you see, is all in the soil. You can't grow the very best pumpkins without the very best soil. It's the soil that gives the pumpkins their flavor. And with only 1 month left until this year's county fair, my pumpkins are looking just dandy. I think this year's blue ribbon should be a shoo-in. Still, it is a tad disappointing that little Tommy won't be there to see my pumpkins take home first place after all the work he put in. The neighbors are all saying that he went missing, and nobody has been able to find him. Everybody is pretty worried that something terrible has happened to him. His parents are worried sick from what I understand. It's not like Tommy to just run off like this, they say. It is a little bittersweet, I admit, but I try not to feel too down about it. After all, he should make for excellent fertilizer once the worms are finished with him. They always do. I think this year's pumpkin pie just might be the best I've ever baked.